2, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Toku Portal podcast for Machine Sentai Kiramager, episode 35. I'm Vashi V. God damn it, how did I fuck that up?
Did you just get your own name wrong?
Yes, I did. I have an excuse for it. It's a bullshit excuse. But in my head, I started that entirely different.
What were you saying in your head?
It was welcome to the Toku Portal podcast, episode for Kiramager, episode 35, otherwise known as the Hangover. Hey, Rye.
And you just skipped all of that.
I skipped all of that and jumped to Rye. Oh, goddamn. I am Vashi V. That glorious bastard over there is Rye.
Hi, that's me, not him.
I swear I've had nothing to drink today.
Are you sure? Because that seems to be today's theme.
The only thing I've had to drink is Coke. Jesus Christ.
So, welcome to the Hangover.
And like I told you, welcome to the Hangover if it was better.
So yeah, Mabushina wakes up. She's got Shiny Breaker, she's got Takemichi's logbook, and Murio is passive-aggressively fixing the table she broke, because they can't detect the Yodam army without it.
I love the fact that they pointed out that the only reason why they knew that there was a monster was because they saw it on the news.
Which, fair, like, just open up the news and wait.
Which, I also like the fact that they pointed out that this stuff is actually making the news.
So, let's take this in chronological order. How about that? You want to do that? Okay.
Yeah.
So, it all
started... Also, shut up, Pixie.
What?
She's posting it in chat.
I didn't get to see all of it.
We all know there was rum in it. We all know there was rum in it. Not this time.
Your Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Okay. So, it all started when Murio was packing up a delivery because he messed up a previous order. Japanese tea, that's all. Maybe green tea. I couldn't read the label, but the bottle is green. And Mabushina has never tried it before, and she would like to try some. And then Takemichi walks in and realizes, like, oh no, because she's an alien, and so different substances are intoxicating to her.
So, on this, one, completely forgot that they could speak telepathically.
Me too.
Two, I really want an episode that explains how Takemichi found this out.
I mean, he was on Crystalia for a long enough time. He probably found this substance and realized, like, oh, we use that to make tea back home. I can drink this. Why are you giving me
strange looks?
I can drink this just fine without getting drunk.
No, there was an episode about them giving that Murio giving them all the stuff. Well, yes, we forgot, because how long did this happen? How long ago was this? That's what I meant. We forgot about.
Yet you call yourself a fan.
Oh, shut up. Go be a smartass somewhere else.
I mean, I can just sit here all day and listen to this, like. So.
But, like, in my head more, I have the idea of him drinking this stuff around the king and the queen. And then going, let's try this.
Oh, yeah, like, or maybe they served him some, like, you're a man now, here, have some alcohol, and he drinks it and doesn't get buzzed.
And it's just tea.
And he doesn't get buzzed, I was just like, oh, is this it? Where's the booze?
Like, yeah, I would be interested in that. Then I
So,
also kind of want drunk Olin.
oh man, he would he would probably fight you. He would just straight up start wrestling.
No,
so,
no wonder Garuza hates him. He would lose those battles.
so drunk Mabushina uh decides, "Hey Takamichi, how come you never found the Kanayame stuff? Here, I'll do it." And she steals a shiny breaker in his logbook and just points to a random page and takes off. Now,
That was great.
coincidentally, the location they go to happens to be where Yodana is attacking with a golf jaman. And
He can do. I do like the fact that apparently at some point during this they stopped so Mabashina can put on the drug tie.
and yes, golf jaman. This guy very much feels like a tarantula monster. So maybe it was just his turn this week.
And Yodana's just supervising because she wants
Uh,
away from
well,
Tarantula.
what is this golf sport the humans are interested in? Show it to me.
Then we get the cameo by Magi Yellow.
Yeah, he's an ice cream vendor. Uh, so picture this. Picture this. Uh, Takamichi is fighting Golf Jamin. Mabushina is digging up holes in a parking lot, and Yodana is just standing there watching her, bemused, like, what is going on right now? I don't think Yodana knows about alcohol.
I don't think she does either. I am interested in her having alcohol.
I was hoping we would get to see Yodana get drunk this episode, but no. After Mabushina drunkenly knocks out the ice cream vendor, Yodana gets a taste of an ice pop, and she likes it. She likes ice cream.
She found a reason not to destroy Earth. Not that
It's
it's going to stop her.
it's the same with Tarantula eating the
And
marshmallows.
the
It's like
marshmallows.
it's something just normal to give for them to do to show that, like, hey, they may be the evil villains trying to destroy our world, but they're still just people. They still have pleasures.
Right.
So, uh, Mabushina ends up digging up a Monstone, which falls into the Jamen. And so they chase off after it to a lakeside, wherein the Jamenju shows up, which is just a golf cart head tentacle monster.
Which initially, my brain, like, initially seeing it, I thought it was like a Zamboni or something.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. That's why I asked you. Like, what is that?
Like, it took me until I saw the actual Jam, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was a golf cart. That makes sense.
Right. So during the fight, Takamichi ends up getting launched inside the Jamenju, the inside the golf cart.
Because Monstone powers.
But he had summoned Drijan, and so Mabushina grabs the Jamenchi golf jaman and is like, "Hey, get him out of there!" And she shoves him into Drijan, and drives the whole thing into the lake, so it is now half submerged, and is like, this didn't work at all. I'm going home."
And she just leaves his ass drowning.
Apparently, they can't drown.
Yep, which is good, useful information for future fights. Don't attempt to
So,
drown them.
cut to the next day. They learn about the Jimenju attack through the news, and the team deploys. And the monster is behaving weirdly because, unknown to them, Takamichi is inside of it. And then it just gives up and walks away. Mabushina wakes up wondering what happened, what's going on, and thus they have to retrace her steps, her drunken steps, and they learn all about this stuff because Yodana showed back up to the location and tells them about it, and then goes and harasses the ice cream vendor for more ice cream.
Which I really enjoy the fact of knowing the fact that she didn't show up to give them information. She showed up for more ice cream, and they happened to be there.
She's just so casual about it too. It's like, she's like, "Oh, what happened here? You did this. I watched the whole thing happen. You wouldn't. It was crazy."
It's like my favorite. Like through most of that like the my favorite part was when Shiro goes, "We'll deal with you next time."
And Yodai's just stand there like, "Yeah, whatever. Hey, you, ice cream."
What an excellent but entirely unnecessary use of Magi Yellow.
They
This man
needed
has been in.
they
This man
needed
has
an
been in.
actor, and I guess he was available. That the part could have literally been anyone.
Right, like they could have literally just got some random person off the street, as long as they know how to take a headbutt. And but yeah, instead it's Magi Yellow, and it's like, I'm being laughed at for the way yellow just came out of my mouth.
And you talk about my southern.
Yeah, bite me. Um, but yeah, to me, it's like it's a mixture of proof that he now lives at the toy lot,
So,
coupled with we want to do something with a previous cast member. We have nothing to use a previous cast member for, so here's a bit part where you say one thing.
so they go to the lake and find the half-submerged tree John, and use the other Martians to pull it out of the water, where
Thinking
Golf
Takamichi is in it.
Jawman is still inside. So they go back to fighting him after he takes the time to explain what Mabushina did. Because they're like, "Why are you in here? You did this!"
I love the fact that a good portion of this episode is just literally, you did this.
It is the most unorthodox invasion. Because it's like, this is not how this goes at all.
Like, ever.
He, like, sits down and, like, tells them the story of what happened.
Like, and what I find funny is, like, because they call Murray at the end of it, you basically piece together, all the information, all that. As they're on the phone call with him, he's still sitting down, and they just transform and start whooping his ass.
Right, and it's like, alright, now that all the confusion has been cleared up on both ends, can we go back to killing each other?
It is the most
And
unorthodox episode I've ever watched.
and even Garuza over where he is like watching the whole thing. Is like listening in on the stories of like, oh, so that's why the monster is behaving weird.
Hey, let's go kill
Oh,
Takamichi.
if Takamichi is inside there, then I could kill Takamichi. I'm out.
God, what a fucking train wreck of awesomeness this episode is.
So Mabushina makes up for her mistake and shows her worth and value to the team by taking some of their pellets that they shoot at their guns and turning it into a golf ball. Because golf, Jumpman, you gotta golf.
Right, because apparently that's his weak spot. The hole on his head.
Yeah, you gotta sink it. And then she, gives it to Kiramagers who actually sink it because, they're the ones with the actual skill.
Caremakers. I give them credit for calling for Juru shot being the eagle, the what was it, like the Kiramager or
Yeah, like
extreme.
Kirame Eagle, whatever. But yeah, it was an eagle
Yeah,
because he
but it was a
did it 2
legitimate
under
eagle.
par.
Yep. I, like that was a nice little touch of using actual knowledge.
So, what was this episode like?
It
Because,
was the Hangover.
well, like, okay, so Mabushina, why is she a necessary member of the cast?
Humor and sympathy.
In the early on in the show, we got the episode with Carantula where she beat his game of red light, green light and saved all the people. That was her. She did that and showed that, like, I can be useful sometimes. Like, I'm not just a pretty face. Like, I can do simple things like this and to show that, like, she can be valuable.
Right.
What did this episode teach us?
Don't drink and drive. Because I mean,
Because it's a golf, so like I was imagining like a driver.
well, don't do that either. We've seen it. I'm sure everybody here has seen enough videos on YouTube of why you shouldn't drink and play with a driver. But I actually meant that legitimately since she drove Jurijan into the fucking lake.
Oh yeah, I just said that, didn't I? So yeah, I'm confused as to what we gained from all this, other than a hilariously awkward like scene for the characters.
I think that was more. I think this was just more just to be a funny episode.
Yeah, just like lighthearted, calm before the storm kind of thing.
Right, because we got that tease of Yodam.
Right. The
So
final.
this is the let's do something lighthearted before shit hits the fan.
Right. We're still in the pre-final arc here. So until the boss man shows up, let's not let's keep everyone calm until it's time to ramp up the tension. Uh oh yeah, Garza goes to defeat the monster, so they have to call in Oladin to help them defend the monster.
God, I can only imagine how the news handled that.
It's like, what's going on here? But yeah, they defeat Golf Giant, so Takemichi pops out just in time for Garuza to destroy the monster for the heroes. And he's celebrating his defeat over Takemichi inside his mech. And
Not realizing.
Tarantula's watching on the monitor, like, oh, he doesn't know. Oh, he's gonna be so mad later. And Yodana's just sitting there eating her ice cream.
that little jump, like, wait, what? That Tarantula did was fucking fantastic.
Right, the shock of like, wait, what are you doing?
As if this man doesn't have a marshmallow obsession. If we get an episode next week where or in a couple of weeks where somebody's just turning people into ice cream, will be delighted.
Yodana?
I will be irritated. Yeah, I will be irritated but delighted.
Yodana liking ice cream is the same the same as one of the things I liked from the Power Rangers movie when Rita is just standing inside the Krispy Kreme eating a donut. Like,
Yeah,
sure, it was product placement, but she's still like just it humanizes her because like she likes donuts. She
right.
she tried it out and she's like, oh, this is good.
Like, and it worked well for Carantula. I think it works well more with Yodana, seeing as she is more human in appearance than Carantula.
She's also the more serious type. Tarantula is more of a wacky villain. So like
Right.
him just scarfing fistfuls of marshmallows is like, yeah, 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 that's our
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But Yodana, she's like all serious, no emotions. But then she found pleasure in something, which is part of her character because she's been trying to learn about laughter. And it's
Well,
like, what
right.
is gratification? What is an appropriate time to laugh? But now she's experienced joy. Like, hey,
Enjoy,
this
even
is
if it's just
something I like.
like, and it does go a long way with her. Let's learn about humans, because everything that she's done has been some play on her learning about humans. Like, even if it was the weirdo, let's turn people into mannequins. Because that was more about her learning, like poses and all of that weirdo-ness. On top of her just being, evil and creepy. And
And then we end the episode with Mabushina mistakenly drinking more tea.
because
And
of course,
and our credit scene is the aftermath of her snapping out of it and everyone else is unconscious and she's like, "Oh no."
Drunk Mabushina is adorable. Like, she's had those moments of being like the adorable cast member, just for the sake of having an adorable cast member. It's like, but this is like over the top, just drunken adorableness. Like, her drunken straightforwardness is actually, I actually enjoy it.
And next week's episode is a rap battle?
Yeah, because they can't stop with the movie stuff. So hey, let's do a weirdo take on 8 Mile. It's
So
the only rap battle movie I know.
I so Groundhog Day, The Hangover, 8 Mile. What else have we done?
There haven't been ghosts this episode, has there? Or this
Uh
season, have there?
Ghosts? No.
Yeah, so no Ghostbusters. Had a game of whack-a-mole. I think that's the only like direct movie knockoff tie-in, whatever you want to call it, that they've done.
Also, Yodana is going to wear a bomb ass outfit next week. So the episode is going to be lit.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be my favorite part of the episode, is her in that outfit. Like, because that's one of the things I like that she's done in just a handful of episodes is
She
the
gets into the bit.
random outfits. Yeah,
Like, the mannequin episode, she posed as a mannequin. Like, she gets into it. She's like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? I want to understand. And so she gets involved. She really gets
right.
into it.
Like, we had the initial of her like showing up and trying to understand humans in the aspect of, well, hey, people go to shrines. Why do people go to shrines? Apparently, archery and shrine maidens. Apparently.
Archery. What is this sport? I shoot the arrow at the target? Oh, I don't
Oh,
get
look,
it.
I'm really good at that. I'm good at it. I don't get it, but I'm really good at it. It's like her study of humanity has been interesting, and actually part of her character that I like is because of the lengths that she goes for it.
Right, like it's a very unique role for one of the generals to take on, and she executes it so well.
Especially given the fact that it's the female general that's doing it.
Right, they usually don't get this much character development.
Like even Ghosh, who had a fair bit of character development for a female general, is like still didn't get involved in this level. All she wanted to do was experiment on people
Yeah, she was
and
basically just a
monsters.
gold digger.
Yeah, I can accept that. Um, but still, it's like usually they're more secondary. Let's just be creepy and disturbing, or they just exist to make the monster larger. I like the fact that that's not the case with Yodana.
Right, because it's a separate monster this season.
Right. And like, well, it's not even that. It's like they could have literally just had her. Like, if they wanted to go the traditional Sentai route, she would be the one doing Tarantula's job, the collecting the darkness and cashing in the policy to send the monster to send the giant monster. Like that's what she would be doing if this was standard Sentai.
But with the way they're doing it, it makes sense that Tarantula has both roles. He's in charge of the monster of the week. That's his job. And so they just added on the giant monsters as well into that.
Right. Like it's the same way. It's following the Go Buster method of Escape did both or Enter did both.
I was gonna
Which
say,
yeah, Enter. Escape was a female villain that showed up. Yeah, what a lackluster female villain.
she when she
But
did
yeah,
show up, she was the general to antagonize the heroes, but
right.
not really,
Yeah,
because
because that
Enter also
still
did
ended up.
that. Enter
Yeah,
did
because
all the roles by himself for like half the show.
and fantastically, and taught everybody French. Um, like it made sense for Enter to be doing that. So it makes sense for Tarantula to be doing that as well, especially seeing as Enter was the first, or Tarantula was the first villain. Because Garuza doesn't count. He's just a dick.
Huh. So, thanks for joining us today, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Pixie says that Yodana is Creon in this.
Creon had fun with what he was doing. Creon made
Creon
sure
had.
Creon made sure to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yodana is just simply trying to understand what they're doing.
Okay, so I get her
And he
point.
started
Is
off meanie too.
Creon um, was learning about humanity
I
as he was
guess.
doing this, and he started out just being a dick, kind of like creepy and just
Or
yeah. It
weird
took him
mushroom.
a second. Well, I would hope so, Drago. Drago commented, "Wow, YouTube algorithm is recommending me this video." I would hope so, as you are subscribed and or have watched us in the past. I know you've watched us in the past. You were here a couple weeks ago.
Clearly, you don't know how the YouTube algorithm works, Vashi. We don't have like red circles over nothing with arrows pointing to like empty dead air.
No, never. There's never dead air.
We we don't have clickbaity titles with like thumbnails that just have a bunch of googly eyes plastered on them. The algorithm should hate us.
That is fair.
It's not like this is the main reason you all are friends.
We we number our podcasts. Like that is counterintuitive. We need to have a wacky title that doesn't let people know
Not like
what
we're
they're
all
clicking on.
And every episode should have its own unique wacky title as well.
Which episode of Kiramager is this? Click on to hopefully find out maybe.
Like, It was more the fact of course, it's telling Drago about this. I believe he's subscribed. So yeah, it should be telling him, "Hey, watch this." It should pop up on whatever he's on, because it does on mine. I got the pop up as soon as we went live, going, "Hey, check this video out."
Well, there's a difference between getting a notification and like getting an actual like recommendation.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, how much of this have you watched, Drago? You usually hear.
How much of Kiramager has Drago watched?
I honestly have no idea.
Don't
Hey,
sleep
Drago,
on this
people are
show.
talking to you.
Drago, if you're listening to this and you haven't actually given Kiramager a try, don't sleep on this show.
This show is fantastic. This takes everything that makes Sentai amazing, pokes fun at it, and makes it even more awesome somehow.
Like, like things were rough for a while because like you had Ninja, Zyuohger, and Kyuranger all in a row that were average at best and mediocre at worst. But then you have Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger, Ryu Soldier, and now Kiramager, which are all
Kiramager.
winners.
Which, in defense of anybody who started Kiramager, Drago just started. Have fun for the next 35 episodes. This is glorious.
Like
Um,
if our excitement about this show is anything to go off of,
He's made it 12 episodes.
okay, that's actually a good sign.
Back and forth between chats. God damn it!
Just have Discord open on your phone and then
I could, or I could just minimize and use YouTube as my feedback for my camera.
so yeah, I believe that's all.
Yeah, I think so too. We got a little sidetracked.
So yeah, thanks for joining us tonight, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week for the next episode of Kiramager. And unfortunately, we will be back tomorrow for Kamen Rider Saber.
Just end the first arc already.
Yes, for the love of God.
Like, let's see what happens in the second arc. Maybe the story will get good.
I'm freaking